Have you ever felt deep inside your heart that small tug, that gentle whisper trying to guide you onto a better path, but you just weren't sure where it was coming from? Have there been times in your life where you looked back and realized that what you thought were just coincidences at the time were actually God subtly working behind the scenes to nudge you in the right direction or save you from harm? How often do we miss the quiet, subtle ways that God is attempting to communicate with us each and every day? God loves each and every one of his children so deeply and is constantly trying to have a dialogue with us, to guide us, and to shower us with blessings, signs, and wonder. However, we live in such a loud, busy world that it's all too easy to miss these gentle promptings from God. One of the most common ways God tries to speak to us is through feelings of peace, unease, or knowing deep in our hearts the right path we should take. We all have an innate intuition given to us from God, an inner sense of calm when we're on the right track, and inner turmoil when we're headed down the wrong road. But in our hustle and bustle modern lives, it's easy to ignore or discount those subtle internal nudges. When confronting a big decision, taking a moment to sit in silence, get still before God, and listen to that small, quiet voice inside can prevent us from making mistakes with lifelong consequences. God-loving places those gentle emotions in our hearts to guide our steps, and tuning into them is one of the best ways to hear God speaking. Another subtle way God communicates is through divine signs and symbols all around us. From the beautiful intricacies of nature that testify to God's masterful design, to meaningful numbers and images that catch our eye just when we need a reminder, God leaves us signs everywhere. How often have you seen repeating numbers, heard a certain song on the radio, or noticed the same flower everywhere, right when you needed reassurance? Synchronicity like this isn't coincidence. It's God subtly placing a sign directly in your path to say, "I'm here with you." Paying attention to the signs, patterns, and symbols unfolding around us daily is another important way of listening for God's still, small voice. He loves speaking to us through the beauty of his creation if we only take the time to notice. You may be surprised how often God also speaks through other people. Whether it's wise words from a stranger that feel tailor-made for your situation, or a friend sharing an insight at just the perfect moment, people are often divinely placed in each other's paths to deliver messages from God. Their words may come as gently or boldly as needed, but they are inspired by God's will to help, encourage, or redirect someone right when most needed. Angels and guides frequently speak through people closest to us as well. We often hear God most clearly when we truly listen to others without judgment and keep our hearts and minds open to receive what the Spirit may be saying through them. Seeing each person as a possible divine messenger can open us up to a whole new level of subtle communication from God. Dreams are another realm where God gently broaches subjects we need to hear during our most receptive state. Whether metaphorically through symbols and images or literally through clear messages, God uses dreams to urge change, offer guidance, and comfort his beloved children. However, we often disregard our dreams or forget them upon waking without taking time to interpret their meaning. Writing dreams down and seeking their spiritual significance can unveil layers of subtle advice from God for our present concerns. Paying attention to dreams and encouraging them as a form of divine dialogue keeps many spiritual doors open for God to speak. There are also quiet prompts in the form of unexplainable urges or desires out of character with our normal routines that could be nudges from the divine. For instance, suddenly feeling the need to reach out to a faraway loved one or visit a place you've never been. While it may seem insignificant, following through on unusual urges that don't cause harm can lead to beautiful serendipitous encounters or new realizations. God gently guides our steps through moments when an unexplained feeling inspires us to deviate from the mundane and explore something new. Though subtle, heeding those inner whispers of change can strengthen our relationship with Him immensely. Challenges, struggles, and times of suffering also provide rich opportunities for God to communicate profound messages of hope, purpose, and growth to those willing to listen with an open heart. While pain is never desirable, God can use difficulties to break down old narratives, foster empathy, impart wisdom, or reveal a greater plan being worked behind the scenes. His voice may come through comforting others in similar circumstances, spiritual or scriptural insights that resonate during low moments, or a subtle understanding of how sufferings are shaping us into who we need to become. Rather than bitterness, tuning into God during trials cultivates gratitude for how He walks with and strengthens us even through darkness. Listening to God also means being attentive to timely blocks, barriers, or closed doors that prevent unwise choices. How often have potential opportunities fallen through or plans been disrupted, only to open our eyes later to see they would have led to harm? God graciously intervenes through small disappointments and consequences to deter us from danger or steer us onto a higher path. While frustrating in the moment, recognizing that divine redirections ultimately come from a place of protection and providence fosters gratitude for these subtle controls guiding our steps. Rather than resistance or resentment, embracing temporary setbacks with faith keeps our ears receptive to God's good directives. Paying attention to the people, books, podcasts, or resources that unexpectedly catch our interest out of nowhere could also be God subtly placing knowledge in our hands through curiosity. If a particular name, topic, or creative work sticks with us for unknown reasons, exploring it further often unveils significance and lessons perfectly timed. In the same way, giving suggestions we feel guided to share, however small, could plant important seeds in others' lives down the road. Both receiving and being a vehicle for heaven-sent ideas, even those we don't fully grasp, strengthens communication with the divine if done with openness and care. God also loves using nature, animals, and gentle experiences of innate joy to bring fleeting moments of peace, perspective, or affirmation throughout each day. Appreciating simple pleasures like the song of birds, a cool breeze, playful pets, or the sunrise reflect God's constant whisper of delight in His creation and in us. Making room amid demands to notice beauty all around reconnects us to life's sweetness, which points right back to our Creator. Taking regular breaks to be still, unwind from stress, and marvel at God's masterful handiwork keeps our souls tuned inward to better hear Him speaking soft encouragements. Even physical sensations can carry subtle spiritual messages if we learn to interpret them rightly. From a warming heart full of unconditional love to empowering surges of strength, endurance, or vitality arriving when needed most, God gifts us with very real, embodied experiences of the divine every day. Paying attention to subtle changes in oneself and surroundings without fear or judgment unveils how God communicates encouragement, direction, empowerment, and comfort through all aspects of our being, seen and unseen. While fleeting, appreciating embodied divine wisdom nourishes faith in God's constantly involved, constantly compassionate care. There is so much beauty in learning to recognize God's gentle, unseen ways of communicating perfect affirmation, wisdom, and care through each moment's unfolding. By cultivating stillness, presence, gratitude, patience, and discernment, we invite richer dialogue with the divine that can transform lives from the inside out. Are you missing God speaking in quiet ways all around you each day? Make listening for His still, small voice a priority through appreciating signs, following feelings, heeding dreams, and paying attention to those around you. You may be surprised what blessings of strength, peace, and clarity await when we truly open our eyes, ears, and hearts to subtle whispers of an ever-present God of love guiding our steps.